What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav Show on the JP and Trav YouTube channel. As always, it's your host with the most, JP. To the right, I have my esteemed brother, co-host, and friend, Travis J. Davidson. Travis, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling great. Feeling great, man. I think we're going to have a very good weekend. I'm really excited about my trips this weekend. I get to link up with friend of the show, Jamar Kane. Get to see a couple buddies I haven't seen in a while that I grew up with. One of them's got a fresh baby boy, like a week old, so I get to see him and just really excited. And I really, really think that we're going to have a stress-free Saturday.
Hey, let's hope so, man.
What we need.
It's what we need. And it's what we got last week. As OU dismantled, destroyed, whatever word you want to use for it, West Virginia, 59-20. It was a truly dominant performance from pretty much every side of the ball. Sans maybe special teams. Special teams still wasn't all that great. Leaves things to be desired, that's for sure. But we're not here to do that. We're the Resident Sunshine Pumper Show, so we never talk about anything negative.
No, absolutely not.
As y'all well know. But yeah, Trav, what did you think about the game on Saturday?
Man, I thought, Lebby can say he doesn't listen to the fans, but fam, we bullied him. We said, man, you can't be doing this stuff. 0 passes behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
A lot of intermediate passing game. That was cool to see. Downfield. Here's the thing. When you can run the ball north and south, you don't have to throw it horizontally, because for those of you that, divide things by pass and run specifically, I invite you to rethink that approach. What you need to do is think of short passes and horizontal passes as an extension of the run game, because when people say the run game opens up the pass game, what they're really saying, JP, is the run game makes the safeties crash and loads the box up, so then you can throw over the top of them. Right. That's the only reason that anybody says the run opens up the pass, is because you're looking for people to bite on those play actions, to line up differently, to maybe put different personnel out there. So now that the offensive line is gelling with some of that young talent on the line, now that Gavin Sawchuk has really hit his stride, now you can rely on your north-south game to open up the pass itself. You don't have to go horizontal to open up the pass. So I think Lebby called a great one.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a quarterback set a school touchdown record, and score 59 points unless your offensive coordinator had a good day. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. So, I thought it was great. I thought the defense looked confident again. They looked fast again because they were confident.
Yeah.
And that's one reason and one reason alone, JP.
Yeah.
It's Danny Stutzman. When he's back, the defense looks completely different, man. I mean, they're in their gaps. They know where they're supposed to be. They get the goal line stands. Kip Lewis is able to play with his hair on fire, not worried about, if he's screwing up, because he's got Danny there as a safety blanket. Danny came in, first game back from injury, leads the team in tackles for loss with 2 of them. I mean, with him being back, that defense, man, it's really good. It's really, really good. What about you?
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, offensively, look, I'll be the first to say, you guys have known how I felt on here about Jeff Lebby. I've been pretty candid about it. I think I got a little emotional last week in terms of jumping and tweeting that, you know what, Levy needs to be gone. I feel like y'all right. Here's why I said it. I think that if we can see and look, I know that people will say, well, it's lost us 2 games in their opinion already this year. Obviously, very much Kansas, Oklahoma State. You could maybe toss up to, a lot of different things, turnovers, and both really, but specifically Oklahoma State, that and execution. Anyways, if we can see Levy the rest of this season just stick to what he did against West Virginia, I think that at the end of the day, you're still talking about a very good coordinator. Now, who knows what happens at the end of this year? I don't, if he stays, if it's a mutual thing. I don't know that the administration would fire him. I think it's hard to fire a guy or find a way to fire a guy, in my opinion, that, statistically has a top 5 offense. Like right now,
They're not firing Jeff Levy.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like it would just make no sense from you go based off of your results and what you do. And I get wins are a part of that, but so are statistics, so are analytics. And every statistic and analytic, Oklahoma's offense is one of the best in the country. Trav, you and I were talking about it with a guy on Twitter today that wanted to take out the 3 best games. And then you said, well, then let's do the 3 worst. And then at that point, we're taking out 60% of our season. And so it's like, I get that you want a little bit more consistency, but at the end of the day, this is what we have. And when you sit here and look at number 4 scoring offense, number 4 total offense, you can say, look, the last 2 weeks, maybe there are play calls left to be desired. I'll be the first to say that for sure, especially in Kansas. He wasn't aggressive enough. But, you live and you learn with that on top of, like, we had 3 turnovers in both games, and that didn't help anything.
Well, I mean, 3 turnovers in our only 2 losses. Every game we haven't turned the ball over 3 times, we've won. So,
yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, weird. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. It's weird how that happens.
Levy, this is I hope some of you went and got the for sale signs out of his yard that you put there.
What?
And it's 59 points. His quarterback's the number 4 QBR quarterback in the country with physical limitations. I don't think there's anybody that thinks that Dillon Gabriel has the most arm talent of anybody that's come through Oklahoma, right? Spencer Rattler had better arm talent. I mean, obviously Baker, obviously Kyler.
Yeah.
I mean, Tanner Mordecai probably had better arm talent. But the thing is, Dillon runs this offense to a T. He's productive. He does everything he asks. He's a great leader. 8 touchdowns, man. I mean, sets a school record. And he's rushed for 11 touchdowns this year. I think we talked about that early in the season. What's it going to have to be to unlock this offense? Dillon's legs is a big deal. He calls his own number a lot in the red zone, even when they have it blocked up, or even when they have it defended appropriately. Dillon still makes it work. And I know there's been a lot of talk of him. Does he come back? Does he not? Blah, blah, blah. I think he's gone, man. I think he's a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah.
And I think he's gone. And I know the conversation started because of the red shirt situation. But I think it just makes sense to redshirt Jackson Arnold this late in the season. Yeah. I made this analogy on radio today, and I said, look, so I bought new tires today, JP, because I'm driving to Utah, right? So got some new tires on the ride. And when I got those new tires, I don't expect anything to go wrong with my tires on this drive because I have 4 brand new ones, perfectly good new ones. That doesn't mean that I took the spare tire out of my trunk. I need to keep that there, peace of mind, in case something goes wrong. Yeah. It costs me nothing to keep it there. If something goes wrong, I've got my spare. That's what Jackson Arnold's redshirt year is. Now he's got a spare tire in the trunk. Say he gets injured, God forbid. Say there's a coordinator that gets a promotion somewhere else. Whatever, right? whatever that would cause Jackson to not jump to the league right away. Maybe it's a quarterback class that he would rather wait another year, or maybe we lose a heartbreaker in a national championship or something like that, and he wants to come back and finish business. Like, there's multiple situations that would cause somebody to want to come back and play college football. Maybe he just loves college. So with that, he's got that spare tire. He's got that redshirt year that he can use if the best laid plans don't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And, I think that, DG's, like you said, he's had such a good year. I find it hard to believe that he'd want to come back. And I think he'll get somewhere in the league that wants him and that loves his cerebralness, loves his fight as a player, and just his efficiency, and that he can come in and be able to learn quickly and run an offense. And, again, not that he would play right away anywhere, but somewhere that they feel like they can allow him to develop in their system. I think he's plenty good enough to be an NFL quarterback on a roster. I'm not saying he's going to be a starting caliber NFL quarterback right away. You never know. But again, we didn't think Brock Purdy would be. He was Mr. Relevant, and here he is, starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers the last year.
I mean, he got bullied by the Vikings, but
True.
who doesn't at this point get bullied by the Vikings is all I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys. Had a lot of good responses from some of you about film breakdown we did last week, and so that was on a loss. So we get to do a little bit on a win this week. So pulling up this first play here, if we can get it added to the stage.
I will say, my boy Mitchell down here, thoughts and prayers to Mitchell.
What happened?
He's a Florida fan.
Oh no.
And they're struggling right now. They're losing a lot of games, and they're losing a lot of recruits. So thoughts and prayers out to Mitchell.
Playing great.
But Mitchell, our Vikings are going to go beat the Broncos this Sunday night and continue that win streak.
Yeah.
With Josh Dobbs at the helm.
Josh Dobbs. That man has been a beast.
In fact, cue up the video.
Looks like Trav's got something for us here in a second. But yeah, so we're going to look at one of these first plays that I believe is a piece to unlocking even more of the offense than I think, last year Dylan didn't do a ton. Even this year in pieces, we haven't seen him do all the time. But this is something that I believe opens up this offense even more. The ability for Dylan to escape. This is the play down the side to Stogner, if you guys remember that. And, he's able to get outside the pocket, create with his legs, and he finds Stogner, who listens to his scramble rules, pops up, and one of the big first plays of the game on that first drive that I think was huge, Travis. And I don't know about you guys, I was nervous because this was the same shot that Stog took back in 2020 in that Kansas game where he suffered that just horrific staph infection.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it felt like Stog had about 200 through the air, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen him. And I wish Dylan would have done this early. First of all, gorgeous play by Dylan.
Yeah.
But I wish he would have done this early in the year because just like JP we mentioned last week, right? Stogner wide open against Oklahoma State. If Dylan extends that play half a second longer, he probably hits him. It's almost like somebody showed him. Maybe Dylan just watched our show. Maybe that's the case. But it's like somebody showed him film like, look, man, see this big old white dude running down that takes up half the screen? Throw it to him. He can catch the passes.
Yeah.
Because he only had 4 catches for 69 yards. But, man, they were big. They all felt big, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they all did. And this one was you almost wish that man, that guy wouldn't have been as aggressive, and Nick would have been able to get his hands on him. Could have got a little more. Who knows? Maybe even a touchdown. But that was one I wanted to bring up early, just to show kind of the night that maybe we felt like Dylan was going to have with the way he was able to escape the pocket, keep his eyes downfield. That was kind of early on. So we got two for each. Got two offensive plays. We got two defensive plays. So I'm about to pop up another defensive play that I felt like just was speaking to what you said.
Green's going to run it.
The way he was leading the offense. Apologize about the audio there. I feel like it's better for us to be able to talk over the broadcasters that they find annoying.
Right. Well, they get loud too. I'm like, yo.
I know. But yeah, so this is 3rd and 5, and towards the end of the first quarter. I think this is where they shanked that field goal. And so you have, I believe, Danny's right there at the inside the hash, and then Kip is on the outside of it. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so Kip makes the play here. But I don't know if you guys were able to notice. I'm not sure if I even got it in the beginning of the clip. But Danny identifies the motion earlier and is able to communicate to Kip kind of where he's supposed to go. Trav, you had alluded to that. That Danny being back on the field really, really helped the defense, and it allowed Kip to be aggressive as we see here as he blows up the guard, just whiffs on him.
I'll tell you what, man, when Kip's attacking downhill, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it, man. I mean, he's so good at it. He's so decisive. He's explosive. And he's had a tough time keeping on weight, but I think that helps his speed. And I don't think it's a situation where he's not strong enough. A lot of guys, when they have trouble gaining weight, they can't hold the strength. Kip, he's not getting stood up ever. He blows dudes up, and he still makes the plays behind the line of scrimmage. So, no, I think it's interesting. Kip obviously played well, but again, having Danny back there, man, it's the difference between having a translator and being fluent in the language. Like, that's what it feels like, is you don't have that pause of waiting for somebody else to tell you, like, no, like, and I know exactly what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. Like,
yeah.
And that's what's so quick about it. And as I've said time and time again, a fast defense is not fast because of the 40 times that they run. A fast defense is fast because they understand the defense. They can get in the right spots.
That's right. That's right. And I apologize, it wasn't even the guard. It was the center who, if you guys listen to Gabe and Teddy, they feel like he's going to be a day 2 guy, the West Virginia center. And so, they
love that guy.
Somebody that's pretty good, and Kip is able to get right past him. Obviously, Rondell did a great job setting the edge too, but man, Kip Lewis is going to be a star in Brent Venables' defense.
Well, and when you think about the depth, like when Danny was out for those 6 quarters, Kobe and Kip got such valuable minutes. They got him in losses. I get it. But, man, we're going to be salty at linebacker. You add, guys like Lewis Carter and Samuel Masigo and Phil Picciotti, and that, like, you add those guys to the bunch, and knock on wood, if you get Danny Stutzman back and Jaron takes that second leap, that leap that Danny took, bro, we're going to be, I mean, we'll have one of the best linebacker cores in the country.
Yeah. That's nasty to even think about. And then you talk about Samuel Mashigo, you talk about Lewis Carter. I mean,
dude, they're freaks.
They're all freaks, dog. This is so exciting to think about. A couple more here, guys, and then we'll get on to BYU. Here we go. Here, apologize for the audio again as it comes. But this is Chad's blocking his ears. This is the beginning of a really good stretch of plays for Dylan. This first play was he had 2 guys in his face. He hits Jalil Farouk on a slant across the middle, or a deeper post, actually not a slant, but hits him, and then right after is the big Jaden Gibson touchdown. So great pocket presence by Dylan, getting the ball into Jalil, and then watch the route concept. I mean, Jaden Gibson is obviously open, but I don't know if y'all saw Drake Stoops too. Dylan could have hit either of these guys. Drake was so wide open too. With the way he runs his routes, he was so hidden, and they'll show it here on the replay. But dude, like the subtlety of Drake Stoops is it's why he's had the year he's had. Look at that, would have been wide, but Dylan makes.
Well, that's what, and I'm glad that you chose this clip, because that's what it looks like when defenses hesitate, right? Those two defenders right there. If you play that angle again, like those two defenders are in no man's land.
Yep.
Gibson is by them and Drake is in front of them, but that's because of lack of communication, lack of understanding of the route concepts, everything like that. Like, it is inexcusable if you're West Virginia to have two defenders and neither of them are guarding anybody. They're just stuck in between them. Like, that's what's fascinating to me, because obviously this linebacker comes up and wants to take the back out of the backfield. So you only have these two defenders covering Drake and Jaden, and they just split. Jaden goes deep. Obviously, Drake just kind of settles in. So those two defenders, neither of them have their guy. Just, again, lack of communication. Look, what are they doing? This guy gets freaked out, gets turned around. He's facing the inside of the field, has no clue where Jaden is behind him, and Jaden's running right by him. I mean, he had this. Dylan was at an all-you-can-eat buffet on this play.
Yeah, and this is really a great design too by Jeff Levy, which is, what we talk about sometimes, is that we feel like he's a great designer of plays. Does he always call it right? And this was just one where you had a big chunk play, and then you go after them, after their throat. And so, as Trav said, the running back is leaking out of the backfield, which puts the safety in a bind. The linebacker's obviously going to grab the running back. Drake sets it up like it's going to be a screen, because we do those. We will do swing passes. And so Drake had set that up so well. And then now where we're at in the clip, he starts to take off. Like you said, Trav, Jaden Gibson is already basically past this cornerback. And so the safety.
If he's even, he's leaving, baby. If he's even, he's leaving.
That's right. The safety's like, oh, man, like maybe I got to go help. And Drake, again, just gets scot-free. But Jaden is just, with his speed and his length, was just able to run straight by the cornerback. And like you said, the safety was not able to make a quick enough decision. And if he had, Dylan would have had Drake. So
he had options, no doubt. But again, from this angle, this is what I really like. Look, all right, linebacker bites. No, both wide receivers are wide open. You got two defenders there that are both just they're not gonna want to watch that tape. Yeah. They got nothing to do. I don't even know what Two's looking at.
It's Mr. Go 30 type tape.
Right. I don't even know what Two's looking at. He's looking to the inside of the field.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on. So he either starts his hips. He's squared up to the inside. Where are you going, bro?
Nobody's over there. He didn't even run to help. He didn't even run to help the corner.
Incredible.
Yeah. DG was a little late on the throw, a little bit, but
Hey, beggars can't be choosers on 8 touchdowns and 423 yards passing. Lewis Carter is not playing a lot for us yet, to answer Mitch's question from above, but he will be a big factor. It's just we're really deep at linebacker all of a sudden for the first time since like 85.
Yeah, since like ever.
Okay, since early 2000s. I won't disrespect my co-host Teddy like that.
Teddy's like, come on, Trav. After everything we've been through.
Bro, it is funny. It is funny doing radio with Teddy versus doing radio with Tyler, because I was on with Teddy for 3 hours today.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Because like Tyler, most prepared dude in the business, got a binder full of just he'll be like, all right, well, you see this report On3 came out with a report with this many coaches ranking this, that, and the other. Teddy and I just spin. Teddy's like, so what do you think of this? Like, we just hit current events. It's awesome.
That's hilarious.
It's just two completely different styles. And the first time I was ever on with Teddy, it really caught me off guard. But I'm glad that I'm used to both of them now.
Teddy is so funny, dude. Audio coming up.
Green keeps Green.
All right, so this is obviously one that a lot of people probably want to see and talk about. It's just the goal line stand.
Right.
And just, man, isn't it awesome that we can have some sort of confidence when our defense is on the goal line, that, hey, we have a decent chance.
I have more confidence when our defense is on the goal line than I ever had under the previous regime's 3rd and 23.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, I feel like we're addicted to goal line stands.
That's a fact. I honestly thought he got in here at that first down play, but the replay showed he didn't. They tried to do a tush push. Just toughness there, really, just getting in on those blocks. And then this third down play is just a thing of beauty. Who's that? Is that Isaiah Coe and DeJoun Terry up there that really blow up the West Virginia offensive line early on? I mean, you already got a sooner.
DeJoun Terry has been a guy that hasn't been getting a lot of praise, but has really played well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's exactly what you wanted, right? Was the big physical run stuffer, and he's done well. And I think sometimes it gets lost in translation when people are saying, we're bringing these defensive linemen, man, we're not getting sacks. What's going on? Guys, we're top 10 in the country in tackles for loss.
Yeah.
When teams are running max protect, you're not going to get a ton of sacks. But the reason we have so many tackles for loss is because we're getting behind the line of scrimmage on running plays. When a team drops back to pass a bunch, you're not going to have a ton of TFLs. You open yourself up for sacks. But if they run the ball a bunch, you can have TFLs. Well, you don't get sacks whenever they throw the ball a bunch and they max protect. So, chicken 15-15 brings up a good point. It is free. Today and today only. It's free. Take advantage. Limited time offer. It is free to hit the like button.
Hit that like button. Oh, this is a great angle right there.
Yeah.
Just big beef in the middle.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, I don't hate the play call from Neil Brown trying to get tricky, hide this guy and just flip it to him. They were not fooled.
Yeah, offensive line screwed that up.
Not in the slightest.
RSJ, baby.
That for a second, Trav. You said offensive line screwed that up.
Well, I mean, just look at where they're all standing at the end of the play. The offensive line is standing on the goal line, and the entire defensive line is in the backfield.
Yep.
That's pretty good sign. I mean, it looks like they go through them, for goodness sakes. I mean, look at the end of the play. I mean, I get rallying to the ball and whatnot, but they were all on the ground.
This is the third down play. Let's get to the beginning of the fourth.
It's just incredible to me that, against Texas, we talked about on the goal line stand, they just missed their blocks. They missed their blocks. Like, bro, how often are people going to miss their blocks? Maybe it's something Oklahoma's doing. And RSJ, I couldn't be happier for that guy.
Man.
He's playing well.
He's playing well. And our safety room is the best it's been in a long time.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. Like, I'm not sure which defensive room is worse than it's been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think any of them.
This is what it's like to have Brent Venables as a head coach and have competent defensive coaches all over the staff and recruit really, really well on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you look at that 2022 class with guys like RSJ and guys like Gentry Williams, but then you've also got the old heads in there, Billy Bowman, Danny Stutzman, Ethan Downs, these guys, like, they're getting coached up. Like, and that's why I think you stand a good chance to get a lot of those guys back, all of them back, really, because I think they saw the leaps they took between year one Venables, year two Venables, and I think they're looking at year three going,
yeah,
geez, if I jump this much in year two, now that I'm really understanding it, how good can I get?
How good could it be? Yeah, 100%, bro. And I will say, I'm not sure that it's better depth wise, but I certainly think that our 2021 defensive line could potentially give, our defensive line this year a run for their money if coached by Brent Venables. I mean, that's Isaiah Thomas, that's Nick Bonito, that's Perion Winfrey, right?
They had the raw talent, no doubt about it.
Think about those guys coached by BV right now. You think about Nick Bonito on the edge. Woo! What he would have done.
That dude's a monster.
Oh my gosh, he's so good over there with the Broncos and his old coach. Now
the Broncos, of course, have
coach now.
Of all NFL teams that have a bunch of players from one school, the most players from one singular college that are on any NFL team are the Denver Broncos with the Oklahoma Sooners. Second is the Philadelphia Eagles with Georgia Bulldogs. But Ben Powers, Samaje Perine, Marvin Mims, Ronnie Perkins, Delarian Turner-Yell, and Nick Bonito. So 6 Sooners on there. And Brian Asamoah finna beat them all.
Is Brian playing a decent amount?
No, he was dealing with injuries early, but he's Flores' guy. Like he's gonna. It's just we've dealt with depth injury issues, but no, he'll be with the Vikings a long time. They love him to death.
Yeah, he's an athlete, dog.
Yeah, he is.
Imagine Brian Asamoah in this defense. That's Kip. Brian Asamoah is Kip Lewis if he was like jacked right now. Like, because Brian Asamoah could freaking fly.
Dude, sideline to sideline kind of guy.
He could fly, dog, and was physical as all get out. But all right, Trav, you got anything else about the West Virginia game besides the fact that we looked pretty good?
Sorry, I've got to address this random. No, the rumors are not true about Jackson Arnold transferring. Wow. No, not at all. Whoever started that rumor, stop being friends with them or stop listening to them. I guess wrapping it up is just, I guess to transition is we talked about West Virginia being on a 4-game really hot streak, right? 4 games, they had averaged 500 yards, over 500 yards of offense. They were doing it on the air or on the ground and in the air, 250 yards average on the ground and 250 yards average through the air. They were scoring 38 points a game, again, in the 4 games before Oklahoma. And they just shut them down, man. And transitioning to this BYU game, BYU is doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
They're having their worst stretch of the season. So I suppose we can transition at that point.
Yeah. And transition we will. Oklahoma goes to BYU, goes to Provo, Utah this Saturday for a 10 a.m. Mountain time kick.
11 a.m. Central. It's going to be normal for our boys.
11 a.m. Central. That's right. 12 p.m. Eastern time, noon on my side of things. But yeah, what do the Sooners need to do to get a W? And then let's talk through score prediction. If you're in here, guys, make sure you like the video. If you enjoyed what we've been doing, if you enjoyed that film segment, please like it. Please comment about it. Let us know. Also want to give a shout out to Mr. McIntosh, who puts together Oklahoma highlight videos. Those were what I clipped from, and he, allowed me to use them on the channel last few weeks. And so I appreciate him. Just a quick shout out his way. Make sure you guys go check out his highlight videos that he puts together for the Sooner Nation every week.
Even if you don't like the video, you're here anyways. Like if you don't like our content, you're here anyways. You might as well hit the like button.
Yep.
I mean, it's right there.
Right there. It's free. Click.
Maybe we're boring you. You know it's a great thing to do while you're passing the time? Hit the like button. That's entertaining. All right, I'm going to check the likes. JP, what do you think we're at?
We're probably at 25, knowing how it's been the last few weeks.
25, yeah.
I wish I had better faith, but
all right, I'm gonna check it out. All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna check it out. 37, okay.
A little bit better.
We need to get that thing. We need to get that thing over 60 by the end of the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Over 60.
John
just got here. Hey, John, go like the video.
Just like it. As soon as you get in. Those of you who are watching later, if you're watching it, just like it. All you gotta do. It's quick.
It's free.
Yeah.
Free 99.
Free 99.
We're running a special tonight.
But yeah, Trav, it seems like BYU is just flat out really not that great right now.
They're a bad football team.
Yeah. They're not very good.
And that's fine. It happens to the new teams. We're seeing it with UCF outside of them blowing Oklahoma State's doors off. We're seeing it with Houston. We're seeing it with Cincinnati even. I mean, they played better, but, I mean, BYU looks rough, man. And they get Keaton Slovis back, but I'm not even sure that's going to help. Their a running quarterback just poses a bigger threat. It just simply does in the run game. Their backup quarterback ran the ball 17 times last week, 64 yards, 17 carries. The week before that, he had 10. Like, the dude runs the ball a ton. Yeah. Keaton Slovis, he was good like 10 years ago at USC, and everybody thought he was incredible.
Yeah.
Turns out he's not very good. His last game that he played in was the Texas game on October 28th. He had 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He threw for less than 200 yards on 62.5% completion percentage, if I'm remembering correctly. Mm-hmm. But like, they don't have it, man. They don't have the juice. They don't have the juice or the sauce. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I think Oklahoma gets in there, flexes their muscle a little bit. I think knowing that you want to get into that top 12, trying to get to a New Year's Six bowl, I think they want to get them style points. The big question, though, for me, and I want the chat to answer this too when they're done liking the video. What do you think? Dylan Gabriel is number 10 in all-time passing yards right now. What do you think Jeff Lebby and Brent Venables do if we are up 42-6 at the start of the fourth quarter? What would you do?
Waiting for some answers. As Trav takes a sip from his Viking cup.
And I am drinking some sparkling water out of that. But the question is, hey, Booty call. Hey, don't get it twisted, man. General Booty, I believe, is second string next year to start the season. I truly believe it. Because he's running the scout team right now. He knows the offense better than everybody. I don't think Davis is back next year. I don't think Dylan is back next year. So you're going to have Jackson backed up by some booty before Hawkins and Zerbrug get, into the fold.
Yeah.
Derek says, if you don't hit the like, you're an insecure Texas fan that is low-key watching OU pods to give content to choke on Twitter. I mean, couldn't have said it better myself. Could not have said it better myself.
Choke's the one pushing that probably the one pushing the J rumor because of Marcus Hicks being in the portal.
Right.
Marcus Hicks was watching the Texas game as a fan. So
and don't get it twisted. I love me some Marcus Hicks.
No, he's a great kid.
Love his dad. Yeah. It just didn't work out, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Go find somewhere where you can play and go ball out. But it is not indicative of how things are going in Norman. Trust me.
Not at all. Things are fine. We just whooped. Look and listen. Like going back to West Virginia very quickly. I'm not gonna sit here and let people say, "Oh, it's just West Virginia." Like West Virginia's they're already bowl eligible. They're 6-3. They have the same record in the conference as us. So let's not sit here and act like West Virginia was some bottom rung team, and that, like Trav said, they hadn't, averaged 500 yards of offense 4 straight games. They didn't just blow out the team we're about to play tomorrow, or Saturday.
Yeah, and John brings up, John got here a little late. Spicoli, late to class, as Steely says. But Gabriel, yes, could come back next year. He does have another year of eligibility. But I truly don't think he does. This started for a couple. So let's go to the actual timeline. Yes, he does have an extra year. But when Jackson didn't go in, a lot of people were like, oh, he's redshirting. When he realized Jackson's redshirting, everybody asked Brent Venables, well, Jackson's redshirting. Does that mean that Dylan is coming back next year? He said, hey, look, Dylan and I haven't had that conversation because Brent Venables isn't going to go out there and make Dylan's announcement for him with 2 games left in the season.
Yeah.
So he's going to say, look, we haven't had that conversation. That's not the time for the conversation. We'll have that conversation after the season. Like you always say about everybody when they're staying or going, right?
Yep.
And I personally think with Dylan's injury history, I think with Dylan's age, and I think with his current trajectory in college football, I think this is his best year. He's got 70.5% completion percentage. He's number 4 in the country in QBR. He's going to be first team All Big 12. I mean, this is his best year by far.
Yep.
And I think he'll be friend of the show, Thor Nystrom, draft analyst, draft specialist for Fantasy Pros. He thinks Dylan's like a 3rd or 4th rounder. He said he thinks he's played himself into maybe the mid-3rd round.
Yeah.
That's good. Go make your money. I mean, so the only thing about him, and I know Topher said he'd hit the portal, I'm not sure he would be eligible because of the amount of times he's transferred. He transferred just the once, but transferring and getting immediate eligibility after, you get a free transfer. So I don't know, might be interesting, but here's what's weird to me though, JP.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got number 4 quarterback in QBR in the country.
Yep.
You've got first team All Big 12 quarterback. You've got a guy that's a top 10. At that time, he'd be probably top 7 all time in career passing yards.
That's right.
Right now, he's rushed for 11 touchdowns. He's thrown for 25 to only 5 interceptions. And OU fans will tell you they do not want him back because they want the 5-star Jackson Arnold to play. Like, that is insane. Like, and I'm not saying – the crazy part is I'm not saying they're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying that it is insane and that there are very few programs, not only just this year, but ever, that would tell their, by all accounts, top 10 quarterback at worst in the country say, no, thank you, but no thank you. We don't want you back. We'd rather go with the unproven commodity, inexperienced commodity first year in the SEC. Like, chat, please, no matter how you feel about Dylan Gabriel, can we all agree that just saying that out loud seems a little crazy? Like, can we all agree that it sounds a little crazy that you don't want a top 10 quarterback in the country with all the experience in the world to come back, and instead you want to go with an unproven, inexperienced commodity? I think we can at least agree on that. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's a little crazy. But
yeah,
hey, we'll see one way or the other, right?
We'll see.
But also, I'm not worried about Jackson first year in the SEC because Carson Beck, it's his first year in the SEC. He's top 10 in QBR.
Yep.
Brady Cook has far less talent than what than what Jackson Arnold will have around him. He's got it this year. It's his first year starting in the SEC. He's top 12 in QBR.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe, it's his first year starting in the SEC. He's doing just fine. So I just don't understand we got to get Jackson ready. We got to get Jackson ready. I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. So I don't know. I think it'll be fine. There's going to be 4 new coaches in the SEC, maybe.
Yep.
What if Billy Napier gets fired? Sorry, Mitchell, if you're still watching. Napier at Florida. A&M. Jimbo's gone. Mississippi State's already open. What if Sam Pittman gets let go? So you'd be talking about Arkansas, A&M, Florida, and Mississippi State all open. And people are worried about breaking in a quarterback. It's wild. It's wild.
Wild times, man. Just tells you the standard at Oklahoma.
So, yeah, it shows you how spoiled we are. But
Super.
standard, that's what we're gonna go with too. We're getting some DG positivity hour over here in the chat. Let's go. DG is the man.
Been waiting.
My opinion is I would like for him to come back. I love Dylan. Kid is a baller. Wish to use his feet more because he kills teams with it, no doubt. 11 touchdowns on the year.
36 total.
DG's got Heisman numbers.
Close too.
And who wouldn't want him leading us, says Kaysen.
Yeah.
I mean, tell you what.
Trav, what's your score prediction, man? And everybody else, let's get yours in here. I know we got a couple. We had a couple for this weekend, but what's the score prediction?
My score prediction, it's been in flux.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with 45-10.
45-10.
45-10. And yeah, they haven't scored a lot of points recently, but I feel like we're going to score a lot, so we're going to give them a lot of possessions. I mean, I think we're going to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I think we're going to, shorten our possessions based on that, or lengthen our possessions, shorten the game by running more clock. So I don't know. The only thing I don't like about my prediction is it assumes we kick a field goal. And I don't know when we'd kick the field goal.
Yeah. It's been few and far between.
Derek asked about Big 12 scenarios. We need Texas to lose to Iowa State, or we need OSU to lose to either BYU or Houston.
Yeah.
Or we need Texas to lose to Texas Tech, and if that happens, Iowa State would have to beat Kansas State. Boom. So, JP, I got to ask you. First of all, what's your score prediction?
Yeah. I'm going to go 52-13.
I'll be all right with that.
52-13.
Now, who do you think has a better chance of losing? Texas on the road at Iowa State or Oklahoma State on the road at Houston after that drubbing they took by UCF? And I want the chat to get in on this too. Who do you think stands the better chance to stub their toe and let OU squeak into the Big 12 championship game, their rightful home?
I mean, with how last week went, Oklahoma State, I truly think that. I know Texas, it'll be weird at Ames, but they've at least proven to have been consistent, even though they've been close to giving some games up towards the end. I just 45-3 is insane, and I don't know how I guess you could bounce back from it theoretically, but a 42-point loss to UCF is insane. So I have to think that they could very easily lose to Houston.
Yeah, Texas has been trying to lose for weeks now, and
For sure.
the football gods just haven't been letting them do it for some reason. Maybe without Jonathan Brooks this week, that does it. But I mean, they tried to lose to Houston. Bad spot saved them. They tried to lose to Kansas State. Bad kicker saved them. They tried to lose to TCU,
Yeah,
which is not a good team, So I don't know. I think this might be finally time.
What did ISU's O lineman say?
Oh, this long rant about how
5-star culture.
Texas and Oklahoma have all the 5-star and 4-star recruits and the fancy stuff and all this and, you know, all the egos that go along with them. I'm like, bruh, we beat you. We put 50 on you. Humble yourself. Like, it's 2023. What are we still doing given, like, bulletin board material? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, just especially Iowa State, I had so much faith. Just shut up and take care of business.
Yeah.
Shut up and take care of business. Rocco Beck, get out there, do your thing, and outplay Quinn Ewers. I know you can. A lot of people thinking OSU. A lot of people.
Hey. It's 42-3 is hard to get over, or 45-3 is hard to get over.
It's impossible.
And
I mean,
you talk about
really get over.
After beating your rival. I mean, I know we almost lost to UCF after we beat Texas, but like 31-29 is a lot different than 45.
Well, and the thing is, everybody was bad. Like,
yeah,
Ollie Gordon, Heisman this, Heisman that. That's all we heard about, right?
He played terrible. And
then OSU's basketball team lost tonight to St. Bonaventure after losing to Abilene Christian earlier. Jeez. They sold their souls to the sports gods.
To beat us by 3 points and then sell T-shirts from the athletic department.
T-shirts and hoodies and this, that, and the other. All right, cool. Hope you got your hoodies.
To those Oklahoma State fans that are saying, you did the same thing with Danny Stutzman. Look, Danny, off of a speech he made, decided to put together a shirt that would benefit him as an NIL participant.
Sold by somebody else.
Yes. The University of Oklahoma State, or Oklahoma State University, excuse me, is pushing through their athletic department's Twitter, Best in Oklahoma, 27-24. Yes, does the funds go towards athletes in general, their NIL fund? Sure. So does most other things that, they do in the athletic department. It goes back to the athletes in some form or fashion. But, like, come on, dog. Don't – somebody tried to say it's the same thing. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not even close. But whatever makes you – helps you sleep at night.
Well, and the thing is, like, the people that were like, "Oh, head coach was promoted." Head coach took a picture with him. He didn't tweet it out. He didn't do any of that crap. Like, and they made a movie. They made a mini movie after. Every team does that. I mean, I can't tell you how many mini movies I've seen about that goalpost leaving the stadium. But at the end of the day, you can't lose to Oklahoma State. We shouldn't have lost. It is what it is. But God, I want Texas to lose to Iowa State so we get another crack at the Pokes.
Yeah.
That's the last thing they want, man. A healthy Danny Stutzman? Ooh. Unfinished business, man.
Unfinished. They don't want to see none of that. Well, on to Q&A. Your mom has a question. What's the overtime thing Teddy was tweeting about?
I'm not sure. I mean, he might have been tweeting about throwing the trophy over the end of the – like we win in overtime and then we throw the trophy over the north end zone when we get it back to town. Something like that. I'm not sure. But
a lot of people wanted to talk about the Big 12 seemingly, in their opinion, screwing over Oklahoma with some of the rule changes that they made that was kind of poorly written in the first place. So
it's just dumb. Like, they need to spend less time on booking Nelly and doing WWE contracts and naming different foods at the Big 12 basketball and just learn how to write a tiebreaker rule and then don't change it 10 games into the season.
Yep.
Like, how about that? And the rule, as it was, would have put 2 Big 12 championship teams or Big 12 championship participants there. It would have happened. Like, the only reason you need to change the tiebreaker is if that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because when you wrote the rule, you had something in mind. So, like, you still would have ended up with 2 teams in the game, which is the ultimate goal. So, I mean, I don't really see the need to change it.
Yeah.
Do I think it's a better rule now? Yes, I do. I think it is a better rule now. I just think it's bummy to change it in the middle of the season. And yes, Zosan 30, don't lose to Kansas and Okie Light and worry about a tiebreaker. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, then tell Oklahoma State not to lose to Iowa State and UCF. They won't have to worry about a tiebreaker. Tell Texas not to lose to Oklahoma. They won't have to, like, it works for everybody. Yeah. Like, you can't just like it's. Should we have taken care of business? Yes, but if you are walking, home after a movie or something like that, and somebody jumps out and hits you with a crowbar, are you going to just say, yeah, you're right, to all your friends that say, well, shouldn't have been walking in the dark?
Yeah.
You put yourself in that position, didn't you? No, it's the person who hit you with the crowbar's fault. Like, it's at a certain point, you allow yourself the ability to complain about stuff like bad calls or like changed rules and stuff like that, even if you could have avoided it. Like, yes, they lost. I get it. But that doesn't mean that the Big 12 can just change. Like, that doesn't mean the Big 12 should just change their rules 10 weeks into the season with 2 games left and say, well, we're going to do whatever the heck we want and change the rules and tell you we didn't change them because you guys lost to Kansas State and Oklahoma State, or Kansas and Oklahoma State. Is what it is.
Yep.
It's the person with the crowbar's fault. It's not the person who was walking home in the dark.
Yep. Any other questions, guys, before we head out? A few minutes here.
Man, I think donated the trophy. That's funny. I don't think any. I've got a long. If we gotta dip out 1 minute early, I won't be too mad at you. I gotta drive. I got a long drive tomorrow.
Yeah, you gotta get up.
Yeah, I got some laundry in there. I got man, it's gonna be 40 degrees, I think, for the Denver-Minnesota game. So gonna be a lot of fun. Gonna be a fun trip. Thank you all for tuning in and enjoying, us berating you to like the video. We got to 49 last time I checked.
Man.
We could be at 50.
Let's get a couple more before we head out. Just a couple.
Got to.
Over 50 would be helpful. There's more than 50 y'all in here, so that should be.
Topher asked if there's any new players visiting for the TCU game. I kind of doubt it. I mean, it's the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Morning after Thanksgiving. I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's going to be tough, man. But yeah. I will say, it should be rocking if Texas or Oklahoma State loses and you've got to win that game, like winning your in to the Big 12 championship. I mean, I know that tailgating that morning, if that's the case, man, I'm going to be eating some leftover turkey sandwiches. I'm going to be all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, y'all, we appreciate you, as Trav said, and I haven't heard much about Makari Vickers. Trav, I don't know if you did.
I haven't either personally, but to be honest, I haven't really been digging on injuries this week.
Yeah.
Like this late in the season, just everybody's banged up. Yeah. Everybody's got something.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. They're going to line G Freaky up as QB this Saturday. Hopefully not.
He needs to
Hopefully
worry
not.
about
You and Roger in LA both love him.
Needs to worry about, not muffin punts. That's what I want G Freaky to worry about this week in Provo. It's just the first one wasn't his fault. He got ran into. But
the thing is, he dropped it before he got ran into.
Yeah.
And yes, Stoops is getting drafted. He leads the Big 12 in catches. He's he's fifth in passing yards, only like 98 yards off the lead. He's tied for touchdowns in the Big 12. He actually has he's got a good opportunity to be the first Big 12 receiver to win the Big 12 Triple Crown in receiving, which is receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and receptions, since Michael Crabtree's first Biletnikoff year.
That's pretty good.
I'd say he's getting drafted.
Should be. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you next Thursday. Well, we'll talk about that because I know it's Thanksgiving, so we'll see. But regardless, we love y'all. Watch the BYU game this weekend. Have fun. Try to be safe tomorrow. And we'll see everybody soon.
I will do my best. See you guys.